Alright, I should be live now. Just waiting for YouTube to show the thing. Here it is. Live. Cool. So now we've confirmed that I'm live. Set up the LAN. Let's start the server for the directory. And here we go. So, nothing in here yet. Just get something showing so that, yeah. So you can see the server works. So what we're going to be doing is this game. It's like Towers of Hanoi. And your goal is to just go for as long as possible matching rings like this. However, this game is janky and I'll show you how. See how I dropped that and it threw the thing and killed me? That's a glitch. I'll show you again. So when you drop it, right before the thing lands, the game glitches and thinks that you ran out of time. The only way that this is supposed to happen, that this falls on top of this, is when you run out of time. But you can just force it to happen. And that makes it really annoying to play this fast-paced. But aside from that, this is a good game. So I want to re-implement it. Not exactly as it is, because I'm not going to get into graphics and all that, but or we can just do the I think you do an exclamation point. Yeah. You don't need to actually provide the head and body tags, like that's for extra organization, but I mean, it's already kind of obvious what is head and what is body, and if you're going to be going super in depth into web development, then you're probably going to be using a framework instead of just raw HTML, so it's not a big deal to me. So we'll have a canvas. I don't really think we need anything else. Okay, first we need to so I got that. And there is a logic to the way that I'm structuring this. I don't know why the editor indented that. That was weird. So what we're going to do is game.js and style.css. Okay, what are you doing? Finn. That was weird. That asterisk wasn't supposed to be there. I'm not writing a C comment. I'm just doing this so that it's obvious. Just to get something running. I'm going to close this. And when I load up the console, it should be loaded. I'm not getting a red background, but that could just be because I have enough content. So just put some text in. Oh. I actually think it's href. Yeah, there you go. So now we got our style working. So for the canvas, I don't know. Give it a border and no, it says z-index is tab index and that's not CSS. Okay, what I'm trying to do, I'll show you in a sec. So canvas.tab index equals 0, and then this is just to get some event stuff working. Hard refresh, there we go. So let's look at the console, and I'll type some keys. You can see that nothing is appearing on the console, but once I click on the canvas, it's making me a liar. There's a way to make things that are not usually selectable, selectable. And the reason I want to do that is so that you have to be focused on the canvas in order for it to receive your keystrokes, instead of doing it on the outside. But we're already running into technical difficulties here. I think it's -1. Stop it. I keep doing that. Document is not defined. It was that simple. See, that's why you read your fucking words. Seriously, I keep going into the shell, and that's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, so here's some key presses with document selected, and here's some key press still not working. That's annoying. What are you talking about? It's clearly been loaded. Okay, I got fucked by caching, that's what happened. Yeah, caching is going to be really annoying to get around here. I'm going to need like a version system to prevent myself from getting fucked over with the wrong version being loaded. So I'm going to use the backtick quote so we can insert variables. This is just temporary. 0.1. Oh my god, I keep doing that. I'm so used to C programming that I keep immediately jumping to the shell. Anyway, so just make it a rule that when I make an update and I'm about to test it, I need to bump this version number so that, and I'll show you, if I refresh the page and it still says 0.1, I know that the new version wasn't loaded. So I have to hard refresh, and there you go. So this is 0.1. And now we can start to get some stuff working. First, we need a way to be able to draw rings. And have this all in the namespace. So let's make it nobody's in chat. Why am I so inaccurate with the typing? God. ctx.begin path ctx.arc and something like math.pi times 2 because you're saying the number of radians you want to go. And then ctx.close path and ctx.fill path. Did it again. Radius. And there was a start angle and an end angle. Gee, I don't know. If I leave out the end angle, maybe it'll... Because I feel like I remember this being the way to do it. So let's just see. Suppose we didn't even specify a size. We'll just do like 50-50. The size of 15. And at least 5 arguments, but only 4 paths. Okay, so maybe 0 radians to math.pi times 2 radians, which is the same thing, but not. Fill path is not a function. Well, that's a lie. Maybe it's just fill. I'm thinking of stroke path. Oh my god, stop. Okay, there's a circle. But we're not done yet. What we need to do now is ctx.begin. I mean, I could just... So path circle, and we'll do ctx.begin path. Oh no, we can close the path and then do stuff with it afterwards. So that should be fine. This is probably fine. Path, circle, size, and ctx.fill, and then path, circle again, x, y, same coordinates, but size minus, if we're doing a big circle and then subtracting a smaller circle, maybe the smaller circle should be a constant size, and it's like 20, and then size plus 20. And 20 is a constant, put that on the left side. Oh, but I forgot to actually do something with that path. You can clear rect, but I'm not about to implement a bunch of geometry functions to approximate a circle with a bunch of rectangles that are 1 pixel in size. So we need something that's actually efficient. I mean, to be fair, I'm using paths and rectangles, so that's not going to be very efficient to begin with. There's a way to do it much faster by using image data, which lets you access the buffer directly. Is there possibly a way to fill with nothing? If there's a way to clear rect, there's got to be a way to do the same with the path. Maybe we should do some experiments. So we'll just give ourselves a coordinate of 80, 20. And we'll say ctx dot begin path. Yes, interrupt me. And ctx dot arc using our coordinates and the radius. So we do 10. and then 0 math.pi times 2 pi radians. Okay, so we made the big circle, and then what if we do another arc, but at a smaller radius inside of the arc, and then ccx.close path and ctx.fill. See, that's not right. It went in and filled the bigger path. Or maybe it, I don't know, does that look like 5 pixels? So, come on, Firefox, you can't do this, really. That's lame. So, I'm at a bit of a loss here then. Well, if I'm willing to not have transparency, what I could do, so I'll have CTX equals and then when we draw a ring, we need to so there's your ring. But I'm not doing it by erasing the center, I'm doing it by making 2 circles. And we've just decided that we're not going to have transparency. The background is just going to be white. So we have a function for drawing rings, now we just need to give it a way to get a color. And we also need some kind of ring structure. So let's see. Do I want to use object.create or do I want to make a structure? I think I use a function because it's a little more predictable. So make ring. Should I give it coordinates? I think I'll just give it a size and a color. because we're not going to be dealing in coordinates here, since there are only 6 positions where a ring can be at. Basically, they'll belong to a stack, and whichever stack they belong to is where they'll be drawn. So we have the size and color, and draw a ring. Instead of 15, we'll give it a ring. So that ring equals make ring, and we'll give it the size of 15 and a color of red. Red, and draw a ring, we'll take a ring instead of a size. So path circle xy 20 plus ring dot size cdx fill path circle xy 20, and then instead of fill cell here, we're going to do ring dot color. And what I can also do here is const bg. Okay. So we got a red ring. Right. Suppose we could further abstract this. Maybe I should try to explain. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to have 6 stacks, and there will be a value randomly pushed into each one. So get that, and then you I'm going to shove a 3 in here. You can't do that because it's smaller, so if this were to happen, you'd have a game over. So which is why you want to move this over here so that this can move in. So that's basically the structure. Is we're going to have 6 stacks of numbers, and depending on the numbers, the ring you get. So, you know, 1 would be green, big, then 4 would be yellow, small. And this information is understood in the numbers, so I don't even really need the rings, honestly. So I can instead do, I wonder if I make enum function I made. So it's just going to be a number. We're working with numbers. So instead, what I can do is const ring colors. I appreciate your attitude. Okay, green. We'll just start simple, OFO. And then red is the next color. And then blue. I have this backwards. And then yellow. And we'll adjust the colors as necessary to make them look better. And then const stack positions. And what we'll do here is we'll have our coordinates for each of the stacks. Yeah. You want to do that. Okay, so what we need to do is we'll ctx.fill rect at, and first we'll do the let constant const stack. Okay. Positions stack position equals stack positions I. And we'll fill rect at stack pause. And we'll just do it 5-5. It's going to be at the top left corner though. So maybe instead of that, what we'll do is draw a ring. So what will green be? Green will be 20, and then 30, and then 10. No, 20, and then 15, and then 10, and then 5. And ring sizes, ring type, ring colors, ring type. So we have a simple way to get rid of this draw ring function. We're also going to get rid of make ring, since that's not what we're going to be doing. Need to take an intermission, we'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I think we need to do some planning. Let's get a little canvas here so I can draw things out. We'll probably end up just typing things because I don't know, I'm just really bad at drawing things neatly. Like, I'm good at graphic design and ship posting, but when it comes to drawing things that are succinct and easy to understand, I always end up defaulting to text editors. Part of that could be because I'm drawing with a mouse, but I've always done that. So basically the game rings, you have your 6 stacks, and then you have your center thing, which is pointing a ring at any one of these stacks randomly. And your job is to click and drag and move things away before it shoots the ring. Because if it shoots a bigger ring onto a smaller ring, or a ring of the same size, it's game over. Now, this is not going to be a clone of the game. There's going to be creative differences. For example, there's not going to be rounds. It's just going to be an endless score attack. I'm going to distill all of the things that I like about the game. Anyway, so you have your 6 stacks, but we don't have to like represent them like that. They can just be, your simple arrays. So this is stack 0, this is stack 1, and 2, 3, 4. And our random, the ring that shoots in random directions, instead of that, it's just a random number generator that selects one of these. So n mod len, which is going to select one of these, and it's going to do a push operation. So you have like 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because and we don't want to have things that are the same size or smaller. So smaller in this sense means that it has a higher number, because they're going to increase like that. So smaller means higher. So we don't want n to be greater than stack I. This is a game over. Okay, I told you I'm bad at drawing. Anyways, you have things pushed onto the stacks, and when you click on a stack and you drag, what you're going to effectively be doing is popping a value from the stack. Use this to represent that. So you're popping a value off the stack and then you're pushing it onto another one. And obviously you can't manually push a value onto any stack if the value is larger than the existing value. Wait, no, smaller. See, I'm getting confused myself. I'm wondering if I should do it in reverse. If the numerical value is smaller than the thing is larger or equal. So this is our failure condition, right? Because the existing stack value, you try to push a number that is smaller, therefore bigger. This is a bigger ring. That's your game over condition. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down. And it's like this is stuff that I already knew going into this. Just need to kind of figure out the structure. How should we plan this out? So we need to have a module for drawing. And we need to have a module for handling controls. And we need to have a module for well, the game logic. So have the main loop and the logic that runs the game. So your draw, you have your inputs and controls and events. So there will be no menu. It's going to be very purist arcade gameplay. And the drawing handles all the drawing. I feel like I'm missing something though. Anyways. For every JavaScript module I add, I gotta have a script for it. Hello. Preemptively. Sometimes I cannot tell where the cursor is. Okay. By the way, the reason that the document is structured this way, you have your HTML here, and then you have your styling above it and the scripts below it, is because of the way that browsers load HTML. Like I know the tutorial will tell you that you gotta put the script tags in a head, or in the head of the HTML document. But the problem with that is the documents are loaded in order. So if these are up here in the head, it's like they're going to be in the head no matter what, but they're kind of content, but they're kind of head material. If they're up here, they're going to be loaded before the content. And because the browser has to download the entire script before it can load any content, that means that you're going to have a period of time where you have a blank screen. And you don't want that. You want your content to load in and be styled with no gaps right away before the scripts start loading in and the page becomes interactive. And that's also the reason why the styling is above the content, so that you don't have a split second where you have text on screen but with no style. So you load the style and then the content and then the scripts. Although for all I know by now, that's just how browsers do it. Like they've caught on to it and I've just made it so that scripts are loaded after the content. Although I don't see how that's physically possible if the document's being loaded byte by byte. Like a large document. Because like a lot of these websites these days are very bloated. And they have megabytes of JavaScript. It's crazy. Alright, so our main function. Is that really how I want to do this? I'm going to go for a more object-oriented. There's two major schools of design when it comes to JavaScript. There's the object-oriented stuff that came with ES6 and ES 2015, which is what allows you to do this kind of stuff. There's also the old school way, which is to make a function and then apply this. And then when you do new on the function, then it creates an instance using the function's scope. And then from that, you got a way to define variables and functions, and then to return an object that has all of the functions, so that when you you basically do that. Because you're returning an object from the function, and the object has several references to things that are within the scope of the function. And this is what you call a JavaScript closure. The scope persists past the lifetime of the function. And classes are just kind of a formalized way of doing that. So I think I'm going to try using classes this time, because I've always done it the closure way. We don't have anything to do right now. Might as well get the drawing stuff. Yeah, this is all drawing information. In fact, I can just get all of these. So maybe I can just put static on all of these. I haven't been talking to myself this whole time, have I? Okay. I mean, technically, yeah, but it's streaming. In fact, that somebody will watch it. So my words will reach somebody. And my theory here is that if I use static const, this should make these variables part of the draw namespace, but not part of any instance that were to be made from draw, which I'm not going to be doing. I'm not going to be making an instance. But there's only one way to find out, and I'm going to do that right now. So let me just comment all this out. And console.log. Draw. I already forgot what I named it. Test. Just to make sure that everything is working, that I'm not making any assumptions here on how JavaScript classes work. Canvas is not defined. Where am I asking for? Oh, it didn't comment out enough. Reference area, draw is not defined. Oh, this is how we're going to be, huh? Okay. Let's fully embrace it then. I'm going to go main.js. And main.js's job is simple. Main.js's job is to be at the end, to be the last thing that is loaded, so that, what just happened? So that I can just call game.main. That is main's one and only job. Unexpected token identifier on draw.js line 2. I accidentally made a mark called B. Yeah. Okay, so what is it complaining about? Unexpected token identifier? So am I not allowed to do this? Let's see. Canvas is not defined. What are you talking about? Can't access electrical declaration draw before initialization. What? If this goes on much longer, I might just go right back to closures. Because closures, I understand. Those are easy to predict. Their scoping makes perfect sense. I don't know what kind of silliness is happening here, though. Because I could just declare them as constants inside the scope and make a singleton. But here it is having some kind of problem. Perhaps. Hello from draw. There we go. Okay. Can I get rid of this favicon.ico error? I don't know how to make an ICO file. Maybe I'll just do it from ffmpeg. Ring. I just want to get like a picture of a ring. That is a very disturbing image. Sure. What should I call it? Ring. That. Can GIMP just make ICO images? Cool, I can. It's on port 8000. Curl land.me.in.alien Now resolve host. Okay. So 10.00137. And I already forgot it. Wow, I forgot that fast. It's fine for me to show you my local IP address because it is my local IP address. There's nothing you can do with that address that will affect me. There we go. Okay, so I need to, I forgot what I named it. Ring.ico, I think. Ring.ico. Cool. Cool. So now, when I go to Firefox and refresh, it's still complaining that there's no favicon, which is strange because there's clearly one in the directory. I just put one there. It's not like I made it too big, is it? It was my impression that these could be any size and then the browser would just automatically figure it out. Maybe if I restart the server. Nope, it's just going to continue complaining. "404 not found." Oh, it's because it's found. I'm being stupid. I'm being silly. There we go. There's your icon. And I got it to shut up. Loading failed for the script with source input.js because I haven't saved the file. There we go. Finally got it to shut up. Okay, so can I add const? Am I allowed to do that? For some reason, no. That's kind of weird. Just be careful not to ever overwrite these then. So we have our canvas, our context, width. I'm trying to, is 500 good? Okay, static init. We're gonna do ctx.fill. We're also gonna do a canvas dot width equals width. Canvas dot height equals draw height. Draw height clear. Yeah, okay. So static clear. Do ctx.fill. This is going to take a while to get used to. Okay, so draw.ctx.fill style equals, there's a let old style equals draw.ctx.fill style, and then field style equals bg color. And if we're gonna, well, now we're using it for multiple things, so we'll just keep bg color. And so let's just be consistent. Okay, so draw.ctx fill style equals bg color, draw.ctx equals draw.bg color, draw.ctx.fill wrapped using the draw width and draw height, and then draw.ctx.fill style equals old style. And we're good. And the test, let's go ahead and draw init, and what we need to do is, it's back, okay. I fell asleep waiting for it to come back. I'm joking, it was only a couple minutes. Anyways, we're taking this for loop here. Oh, we also need that canvas tab index to make the canvas selectable. Maybe I should have demonstrated that, huh? Suppose it's not too late. So we'll have this and this. Plus, it is good to know that things still work the way that you think they do. And to be able to adapt when they don't. Okay, so I'm going to put canvas tab index in init. And so we have our key logger here, which is applied to canvas. Now, if we don't do the tab index, okay, before I go having to debug a bunch of shit, just make sure it works. Canvas is not defined. Okay, so when I click out of here, type keys, nothing happens. Now they're getting logged. And if I do not have the tab index, it should not work because the canvas should not be selectable. And okay, so that's not a thing anymore. The canvas is focusable without changing the tab index. Maybe I should keep it in there just in case. Anyways, we're not doing that right now. So let's get back into the loop here. For I is less than, okay, well, stack pos is not a number. What am I doing here? Draw.stack positions I mean, stack is just. I mean, JavaScript basically implements stacks already. As your dynamically growing arrays, which you can push and pop from. But I'm wondering if I should make that its own data structure. I mean, the only thing that really cares about it is draw. Anyways, we have 6 stack positions. And what we're going to need to do is fine tune them. Three, 4, 5, and 6. So we'll be fine tuning these because we're going to be doing draw. We need the draw ring function too. Thanks. Okay, so static. How do I want to call this? Draw.drawRing. Draw.ring. See, draw.ring would be bad because that's a noun. That implies that there's some kind of data structure instead of it being a function. But drawRing has a little bit of redundancy. Okay, so we have x, y, and this type of valid identifier is it's not a reserved word. The type of is, yeah. Path, circle, x, y, 20 plus ring. Static. Since I can't make these constant, I almost said convis. Since I can't make these constant, maybe I should make the constants all caps. So like that'll be my convention for. Oh. That's weird. I guess I haven't run any code that just has the CTX. So for all CTX, I need to prepend it with draw. Okay. Let's not chase our own tail. Width. And height. Yeah, I just noticed that. And the thing about JavaScript is that it probably would have failed silently on that, because JavaScript is silly and it likes to let you insert things into objects when you shouldn't be able to. Even if you seal an object and you insert something into it, it'll just fail silently. It will not give you an error, it will not refuse. It just pretends to do the thing you ask it to do and then doesn't do it. And then you have to find out from experimentation. JavaScript is a very hard hard language to program in, because it doesn't have any kind of static analysis. Okay, ring colors. And ring sizes. and I forgot what I was doing. What other property of ring do I need? I'm just going to delete it for now until I need it again. Stack positions. Alright, let's go back to the top and just do little keyword searches. Found one. Okay. No sense in rewriting it, I already have the code. Just need to repurpose it. And I really gotta stop pressing shift down accidentally. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to indent it, not merge all the lines. Okay, so XY size. And you didn't miss much. I just added draw a dot to the beginning of these two lines. This one and this one. So oh yeah, okay. Stack ring inner size. Okay. Maybe instead of type, it'll just be a ring value. Just as a little more clear. And we'll separate these into two blocks so you can use this with two different things happening. So we're not going to fill rects. We're just going to draw a ring at stack pos 0 and stack pos 1, and we're going to use the biggest ring type of 0. F5. Okay, why is nothing being drawn? Did I do something silly? That's weird. Usually 0 auto will give it 0 on all sides. Well, it's 0 on the top and bottom, and then auto on the left and right, which should result in it being centered. Maybe it has to do with the display type. What type was it before? Doc. Hello. Draw. Dot, since I have access to it. Draw.canvas. Style. What? It's just nothing. Okay, so I need to see something actually be drawn. $50. No, you can see that it works. Yeah, I can use this opportunity to finesse the sizing and colors. So that's kind of small. Although, I feel like I can make it about 50% larger. So we'll figure this out in a minute. For now, I just need to see something be drawn. So draw ring at 100, 100, 0, 1, 2, 3. And the ring colors, that green seemed a little too harsh. So maybe if we do, not 7, that's a little too dark. 3, E3. Gonna go a little darker. And I could adjust the background color to be a little easier on the eyes too. I had to be sure. It's too gray. What if I did kind of like a bluish, just ever so slightly? It seems a little too tacky. F7, F7, F. That's a little softer. Yeah, that'll work. So now we just need to focus in on this, okay, and this color here, and the sizes too. So let's do 30, and the next one will be half the size. Maybe 40, 30, 15. Okay. And that red is a little harsh. Let's try to tone that down a little bit. And that yellow is horrible. I'm pretty sure this will make it orangish. And I just kind of made it faded. Orange would be more red than green. Yeah, why not? It's too hard to see. Oh, don't save a bookmark. What are you doing? Control D is the log out of shell. Like again, it's just muscle memory. We'll do 50, 40, 30, and then 15. Yeah, that looks a little better. I keep doing that. Go away, bookmark bar. You're not wanted. And the inner ring size, is that a good size? I think it is. So 50, 40, 30, 15. We found our sizes now. Well, let's figure out what the hell is going on. So it is able to draw at the edge. I don't know what the fucking holdup is here. For I equals 0, y is less than draw stack. Oh, again, I'm not using the number length. So the loop's just not even happening. Draw.stackPos.length. That's what's I. Const stack pos equals draw.stackPos I. So we're choosing a coordinate pair. And then draw.drawRing using those coordinates and 0 to get the big green ring. Why is it not drawing? It's drawing the one ring. But for some reason, oh, I think I know what's going on. It is drawing them. They're just covering each other. So I really can I try to kind of balance them along. We're at a 502 by 502. So at 251, this is where our center lines will be. And doing this, we have 4. We split, and then that, and then that. Yeah, okay, so this should work. We just need to kind of mock this up can do this to get the approximate coordinates. So yeah, I should split this into thirds. So we're going to move this guide instead of 250 to whatever the fuck 502 divided by 3 is. $166. We'll do that. We'll do another one at 160 plus 160 would be 320. So to 333, that seems right. Lost my calculator. 500 divided by 3. 167 times 2. Yeah, that's close enough. So we have our thirds, and then we have our halves. Not quite what we want. We do need to have room for a score display. You don't want to just take up all of the room, but this is really throwing me off how these are not centered. And we don't just want to have them be like that. So I think that looks pretty good. So this one is at 97.28. We'll approximate that as 130. What's in this? So 130. And this one is at 260.30. And okay, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the one after that. It's 360, 180. And if we're doing this mathematically, that was a plus 100, so this should be minus 100. Ooh, that's too far. That's a problem. But it is referencing from here, not from here. Yeah, it is a 0. So here's what I'll do. And offset y is 360. So the third row is 360. So we have our initial numbers. And this will be at 260. And this will be at, wait. Yeah, 100. Okay, now we need to adjust them by the size of the rings. So the center of the ring is basically the inner size. That is the radius. So if I just add the radius to all of these on the X, then that'll reflect more accurately. Now let's see how that looks. Okay, we're getting somewhere. That Y alignment is not good though. That's because it's not normalized. So we have a difference of 180. So we need to take 30 away from these so that the step is consistently 180. And then we need to add the ring size, so 20, 20. Okay, now we just need to move it over. They are too far to the left and too far up. So let's go ahead and add 50 pixels each. Alright, that's almost perfect. Actually, that is perfect. And 50 does happen to be the size of the green. Let's make sure that it looks sane when we change the type of ring that's being drawn. I just did the Vim right. I did that in the wrong order. Yeah, we're using orange rings instead of yellow. I don't think it looks good. So, we now have our stack positions. So when we I could have the yeah, I do think that the stack is going to have to be its own thing. A system to manage the stacks and the rings that are on them. And it'll have a draw function that just calls the draw function here. Oh, but we need that center position too. And I also need some way to indicate what direction the ring in the center is going to be going to. So we'll just add another stack. Stack 6 will be at y coordinate 250, not 520, 250. And it's between 330 and it's between 70 and 430. So 430 minus 70 and 360 divided by 2 is 180. So 180 seems like it would be smack dab in the center, just directly. So draw ring at draw.stack pause 6 0 draw.stack pause 6 1. I shouldn't have deleted that for loop. Why are you always fucking me here? What did I do wrong this time? Why isn't it doing it? What? Okay, let's undo until we get back to the original for loop. And then copy that. And then later 2h. What the fuck is the difference? Aside from using the length, which is like we already know. I hard coded it in so that I wouldn't have to deal with that. So that's not different. Dude, there's no difference. JavaScript is just being temperamental. But why? I literally didn't change when I initted after the test. How the hell did that happen? Okay. Add it back in. That is not in the center. What the hell? Hold up. So the two middle row ones are 70 and 430. So we take 70 minus 430 divided by 2. Yeah, 180 is exactly in between them. I don't understand how it is so far off. That doesn't make sense. 180 should be exactly in the center, unless... Nope. I didn't think that would make a difference. That doesn't make sense. If 180 is not in the center, then what is? Maybe we're doing relative to something larger. Do an average. There we go. So I had to do plus. How do you determine whether you should do plus or minus? Because, like, if you're in GIMP and you're trying to determine... Now watch, I'll make another layer. But the layer I'll crop it to a selection, so I gotta make a selection. Make it like that size. Or no. Well, here's a better example. So we have hook gods. And we'll just kind of like scale the text up a little bit. And we'll even give it some space in between the characters. Now when I take this and I look at the layer boundary size and the attributes, I can see its width and height exactly. And you can see the canvas width and height up there. So what I can do is I can take 502 minus 315, the width of the text field, and then divide by 2. And then for this, I can take 502 minus 48 divided by 2. And then when I click OK, it gets perfectly centered. So relative to... Okay, I think I'm... Yeah, okay, so you're taking the size of this and the size of this. So basically you're taking coordinates that are here and here effectively, and you're subtracting them and averaging to get where this should be to center this. Whereas what I was doing... What is going on there? Oh, it's Unicode. So that's how they do it. And what I was doing here is I was taking this position relative to this position, so you need to add and then divide. Anybody who knows math and geometry better than I do can feel free to weigh in on that. There we go, we got our center. So this will shoot out to these. I need some way to okay, so static line ling, line to stack. I might want to use the lines to kind of show where you're dragging things. So we'll have stack 1 and stack 2. And we'll do draw dot ctx dot fill style equals, I'll just give it a red color for now. And ctx.begin path. Draw.ctx.move to. And we're going to go to draw.stackPause stack 1 0. And then we'll go to stack 2 xy. But instead of move 2, we're doing line 2. And then close path and draw.ctx dot stroke path. So it wouldn't be fill style, it would be stroke style. Now let's do a test. We'll do draw.line to stack. And we'll do it from stack 6 to stack 1, which will be from here to here. And line 2 is not a function because I didn't capitalize the T. Stroke path is not a function. What? Stroke, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Yes. Okay, so I need the stroke style, but isn't there kind of like way to say how thick the line is? I might have been thinking of stroke rect. Kind of want to avoid using stroke in most cases. Like if you're drawing a line that's just a straight line from one place to another, you want to just draw 1 by 1 rectangles going from point A to point B. Because if you're, stroke rect can take values that are not integers, and you can get these kind of weird fuzzy lines because it uses anti-aliasing, and that may not be what you want. Anyways, I thought that there was a maybe line width. Yeah, okay. But I also need the line cap, so look at that in a second too. So line cap is round. And draw.ctx.line width equals not 15, that's too big, 5. 5 should be good. Stop caching. It's not round enough. Here, let's make this like super obvious. Make it 25. And you see we're not getting what we want. Am I supposed to capitalize round a certain way? Where'd it go? Oh. I'm being cheated. See, you should be, get over here. It should be doing a rounded line, but it's not. CTX.line. Nope. What is a butt? Squared off at the endpoints. Why? Why does closing the path make the... Okay, whatever. So, we want to use... I don't know. What color should I use? So like if we're good, I think it's pointing from here to here. So the idea is that like it'll kind of point from here to here. I wonder if there's like a way I can angle. Do I really want to draw an arrow though? It seems kind of tacky. So we'll just have the line pointing like this is where this will go. But also, if let's also see how that looks when it's behind the. I kind of like that actually. Yeah. So maybe instead of stack 1, stack 2, but then also take a color, and the stroke style will be the color. So for this, we'll do F00, red line. And when the game is drawing this stuff, when it's drawing the stacks and it's drawing, like when it's clearing the canvas and drawing the stacks, that's what it's going to do. It's going to draw the line first. Any lines that it needs to draw will be drawn first, so that you get this effect. Let's also draw a line from 0 to 4. Okay, let's actually put that on a different thing. That'd be helpful. Yes, there you go. Oh, and I forgot to change the... So, would blue look better? So red represents, this is where we're going. And then blue represents, this is where you're dragging. So if you're dragging from here to here, then you have the blue line to represent it. So you'd have, if you're dragging this from here to here, then you'd have the blue line going from where you started the drag to wherever you're dragging to. Of course, I also need a way. So something I'm going to need to do is we're going to actually have to figure out the on-drag event so that the information I'm going to want to know is where the mouse was when the drag started, and then where it is now. I don't really know how an on-drag event works. No, it's not even. It's deprecated.
We went to dinner with the dancers. You know, I could tell something was wrong. I just happened to ask her one question that really started our friendship. Jen, are you okay? Renee's situation.
Okay, the two events I do know are mouse down, mouse up, and that's 3 events. Mouse down, mouse up, and mouse move. So maybe for now, let's now is it the drawing module's responsibility to figure this out? Okay, draw, buddy, and replace that. Okay, so now we have that. And when we need a function, not a function, a static function. Static, which stack? So we have our coordinates. And what this function is going to do is it's going to return the ID of the stack that the coordinates are in. So I'm going to do ring colors, ring size. This is something that the stack should know. So it's going to be managing that. We just need to replace every instance of draw with these names. Well, actually, no. We don't need to care what the ring colors are. That's colors are just aesthetics. However, the sizes yeah, okay. Feels a little bit messy, but that's what we're going to do. So draw.ring sizes becomes stack.ring sizes. No. Ring inner size. I'm just going to press that stack. Okay. So draw.ctx.begin path and close path. Well, we have that path circle, don't we? Yeah. So we're just going to do path circle. Draw.path circle. And in fact, we actually will add the function back in. Here's what we'll do though. Just so that we can call code. If type of fn equals function we'll just go ahead and pass the context. So raw.path circle, use x, y, and fuck it. Stack.ring sizes 0. And the function let's see, what do we need to do with the CTX? We need to do ctx.isPoint in path xy. So after having made that path, which would have filled in the circle if we drew to it, we're going to do the isPoint in path. We need a way to receive that value. Okay, so let res equals draw.path circle. Okay. What we actually need to do is for let I equals 0, I is less than stack.chords.length is plus I. And then res equals, we're going to And then what we're going to do is if res. Oh, okay. I don't even need the res actually. If just simplify that a little bit. Okay, so if this is truthy, then return I. I'm going to just get rid of those extra brackets. There we go. So, just going to go back to the draw test code. So draw.canvas.add event listener mouse move, and the function that is supposed to be lowercase e. What are we going to do? We're going to let stack ID equal stack dot which stack. That function take any arguments? It did. ev.mouse x and ev. I know there's a more sophisticated way to get the coordinates, but this is just what we're doing for now. And then console.log. I can just draw. I'll draw a blue ling. So draw.clear and then draw ring. Actually, no, that's not what we're going to do. We will clear. But we're going to draw. No, we're going to line to stack using 7 and stack ID. Did it again. Okay. Something is wrong. Where did I use a lowercase s? What line? Stack.js line 14. Static which stack in x and y. There is no missing parenthesis. You're full of shit. Stop making shit up. Draw.path circle x, y, stack ring size is 0, ctx dot is point in path x, y, and then return I if so. If the point is in that path, then we return that identifier. There's nothing wrong here, you fucking asshole. Uncaught syntax error, where? Show me where there's a syntax error. Where is there a syntax error? I'm really genuinely curious. Because I don't see a fucking syntax error here. Which stack? that's wrong. Stack dot chords I 0 and stack dot. So we're going through each of these and drawing a fake circle where they are, and then checking if the mouse position is in there. But the fucking interpreter still insists that there's a syntax error. It won't say what the syntax error is, it's just saying missing parentheses after formal parameters. But it's talking about this. Do you see a missing parentheses here? Because I see a parenthesis here. I see what looks like 2 parentheses. One open, one closed. So I don't know what the fucking hell it's talking about. What does the browser see? Lies. Where am I? Have I gone insane? I'm using C types. And then stack x what? Stack 2xy. Find, then just return, and then JavaScript I can use false. Return true. Why are you doing this? I need to make sure that it's actually drawing something. Okay, so stack dot which stack mouse x mouse dot y. And stack which stack. Oh, it doesn't need to return an invalid value. I forgot about that. So if it returns -1, that means it's invalid because -1 is out of the range 0 through 6, which is the valid return values. If stack ID isn't equal to -1, then we can actually draw our line. Otherwise, don't. And still being a little bitch. Oh, what am I doing? 7 is out of range. Okay, come on, stop caching. Stack ID mouse x equals Mouse X equals undefined. Okay. So how... There's a proper way to do this. It isn't a million lines of code. Yeah, no jQuery. This is 2022. Nobody uses jQuery. Yeah, this is it. Just adjust those E references to EV, because I try to avoid one-letter variable names, unless it's something like X, Y, A, B, I. Okay, so stack ID equals stack.which stack. We're not using that. We're using our X and Y. And let's go back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So I need to draw clear, which will clear all the rings. You can see now it's actually drawing the line. So when I'm doing the dragging code, what we're going to do is we're going to track the state of the mouse. So there's another module there. We're going to track the state of the mouse, and the coordinates that the mouse were at when you first clicked down will be saved, along with the fact that the mouse is down. Like the fact that we're still in the mouse down state and have not gone into a mouse up state. So yeah, you have that. Those will be the coordinates, and then that we'll use the which function to get the currently selected ring, and then while you're dragging the mouse, it'll be selecting based on where the mouse is currently at rather than where it was. So instead of just having a line from the center, we'll have a line from one ring to another. Anyways, I think that's good for now. I made some progress. We got some working drawing code going. Got some foundational stuff. And my roommate is playing loud TV in the background, so before I get a copyright strike, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Bye-bye.